Mighty Companions, welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy.
There's a call for God, I see it everywhere. Everybody's running scared, and everything is turning upside down. But the words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it?
Welcome to A Course in Miracles.
Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles,
Yeah, we are one.
right here on Facebook Live. I'm Earl Purdy.
Now let's come together and understand that Christ was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose him as ourselves.
Let's get centered and feel each
When
other.
you choose him, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you will know that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles.
We are one.
We're going to get right down and we're going to hear
We
the...
are one.
Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy. I want to welcome my mighty companion. Welcome, mighty companion. I want you to know that we are going to go deep in A Course in Miracles. This is a class that's for Course in Miracles students who know they want to understand the Course better and want to take advantage of my almost 40 years of teaching and learning A Course in Miracles. I'm here to save you time so that we can get the message that the Course is teaching, so that we can have the happiness and peace that the Course in Miracles is promising.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it?
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one.
You and I are one. We are one.
Know that we are one.
You and I are one. And we are one. Oh, we are one.
I am you, and you are me.
Hello, mighty companions. I'm Earl Purdy. It's my pleasure to be with my mighty companion. You are awesome, 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 awesome. And this is hardcore. And by hardcore, I mean we're going to focus in on the book. We're going to focus in on what the book is saying. We're not going to analyze the Course in Miracles. We're going to try to hear what it's saying and get the message that it's trying to give to us. And we're going to be on the attainment of the real world. We're going to be on the attainment of the real world, and that's on page 254. 254 in the text, the attainment of the real world, the attainment of the love world, the attainment of the real world. It is in chapter 13 in the Course in Miracles text, the guiltless world, section 7, the attainment of the real world, page 224, section 7, the attainment of the real world, chapter 13, the guiltless world, in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles, the attainment of the real world. So, I'm going to go through it, and then we're going to go through it, and we're going to get the message. So I'm going to start right now. It says, sit quietly and look upon the world you see. Sit quietly and look upon the world you see, and tell yourself, the real world is not like this. The real world is not like this. The real world has no buildings, and there are no streets where people walk alone and separate. There are no stores where people buy an endless list of things they don't need. It is not lit with artificial light, and night comes not upon the real world. There is no day that brightens and grows dim. There is no loss. Nothing is there but shines and shines forever. So, in the attainment of the real world, it says that the first thing that it's asking us to do, now don't forget, you don't have to believe these ideas, you don't have to accept these ideas, you don't have to welcome these ideas. Some of these ideas are going to be hard to believe, some of these ideas are going to be hard to believe, some of these ideas are going to be quite startling. You are not asked to judge and analyze these ideas at all. As a matter of fact, the Course in Miracles says only the ego, only the false man, the wrong man, the incorrect man analyzes the Course in Miracles, and I'm not going to analyze the Course in Miracles. And it says that if you use these ideas will give you the peace that these ideas promise. If you use these ideas will show you that the ideas are true. No amount of analyzing the Course in Miracles is going to prove to you that it's true. So what I want to ask you to do is just for a minute, so that you can really get this hardcore class. Remember, the Course in Miracles teaches that the motivation for learning A Course in Miracles is not knowledge. That the motivation for learning the Course in Miracles should be that you want peace. So the goal is peace, not knowledge. The goal of studying this is peace of mind, not knowledge. So your understanding isn't a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding everything is not what's important with the Course in Miracles. What's important with the Course in Miracles is to remember what it's saying. So it starts off by telling us a very specific instruction. It says, sit quietly and look at the world you see, and tell yourself, look around the room that you're in, and look around where you are right now, and tell yourself, say, the real world isn't like this. When you look at the TV, when you look at the news, when you look at the things that are going on in the world and in your personal life, in the physical world, you tell yourself the real world is not like the world that you are looking at. Do you know that the Course in Miracles says that the real world isn't like the world you are looking at? And so what does it mean? What does it mean when it says that the real world isn't like the world you're looking at? It means that in the real world, there are no buildings. There are not skyscrapers. There are not physical buildings in the real world. In the real world, there are no streets where people walk alone. There are no streets that people walk separately and alone. There are no Walmarts. There are no Best Buys. There are no grocery stores. In the real world, there are no stores. I love how it says there are no stores where people buy what? An endless list of things that they don't need. In the real world, there are no street lights. There are no light bulbs. The real world is not lit by artificial light. The Course in Miracles says in the real world, there is no such thing as nighttime. In the real world, there is no such thing as daytime. In the real world, there's no such thing as sunrise going all the way through to sunset. There is no day that brightens and then grows dim. And one of the things that's really awesome is that in the first paragraph, it says, there is no loss. So in the real world, in the love world, there is no such thing as losing. In the real world that the Course in Miracles is teaching us that we deserve to be in, there is no such thing as loss. And in the real world, everything shines with love, and it shines with love forever and forever and forever. So the Course in Miracles is telling us that there is another world, that there is literally another world. That's not a metaphor, that is a fact. There is another world. Just like you would have said, there is another country beside America. There is another world beside the physical world. There is another world beside the physical world. There is another world. Now, so what do you do? What do you do? How do you see? How do you see the real world? How do you see? How do you see? How do you see the real world? Listen to what it says in paragraph 2. It says, the real world, in order to see the world, the real world, what must you do in order to see the real world? The world you see must be denied. The world you see of fear must be denied. The world you see of separation must be denied. The world you see must be denied. What does that mean? The world that we see that is full of fear, anger, guilt, separation, that world must be denied, because the sight of the world of fear, the sight of the world of fear is costing you a different kind of vision. The reason why you don't see the world of love, the reason why you don't see the world of oneness is because you're looking at a world that is based upon separation. So you have to be willing to deny the world of separation. If you want to see the real world, if you want to see the world that the Course in Miracles describes, if you want to see the world of love, you must realize that you must make a choice. You've got to make a choice. You must choose not to know the world of separation, the world of guilt and fear. You must be willing to deny that world, because focusing on the world of separation and fear, it's costing you a different kind of vision. You cannot see both worlds. You cannot see the real world and this world. You cannot see the world of love and the world of fear. It says you cannot see both worlds, for each of the worlds involves a different kind of seeing. So which world you see depends on what you cherish. So you will see what? The world you cherish. You are looking at, whether you believe it or not, you are looking at the world you cherish. Whether you believe it or not, you are looking at the world you cherish. It says it right here. You cannot see both worlds, for each of them involves a different kind of seeing and depends on what you cherish. Do you know that what you see depends on what you cherish? If you see guilt, grievances, anger, sickness, murder, death, attack, separation, and bodies, that's because that's what you cherish. According to the Course, you are seeing what you cherish. The sight of one world is possible because you have denied the other world. So what does that mean? The sight of the world of love is possible because you have denied the world of fear. The sight of the world of fear and separation is possible because you have denied the world of love. Both are not true. The world of love and the world of fear, both of those worlds cannot be true according to the Course in Miracles. But it says, both are not true, yet either one will seem as real to you as the amount to which you hold it dear. The world of fear and the world of love, both are not true. Yet either one will seem as real to you as the amount to which you hold it dear. So the world that you think is real is the world that you hold dear. So what does that mean? It means that if you cherish love, if you cherish freedom, if you cherish God, if you cherish oneness, if you cherish unity, if you cherish health, if you cherish abundance, then that's the world that you're going to live in. That's the world that you're going to see. But if you really believe more in separation, if you believe more in guilt and victimhood, if you believe more in anger and guilt and grievances, if you believe more in sin, if you believe in all those things, then you are going to see that world. So you don't have to wonder what you believe. You believe what you see. What you see is what you believe. So how do I know I have some anger in me? How do I know if I have some attack thoughts in me? How do I know that I have some grievances in me? If I see it, it's in my own mind. If you see it, it's in your own mind. If you see it, it's in your own mind. So it's no such thing as thinking that I have a totally loving mind, but I see anger over here, guilt over there, blame over there, murder over there. If I see it, it's in my own mind, according to the Course. If you see it, it's in your own mind. It's not in somebody else's mind. Whatever you see is in your own mind. But also remember, if you see love, it's in your own mind. If you see freedom, it's in your own mind. If you see kindness, it's in your own mind. If you see abundance, it's in your own mind. If you see unity, it's in your own mind. That's also true. So what does that tell me? It tells me that I have some thoughts of peace and I have some thoughts of conflict. I have some thoughts of innocence and I have some thoughts of guilt. How do I know that? Because I see it. Because I see it. So that's how you get out of denial. That's how you get out of denial. If you see it, it's in your mind. You can't be separate from it. If you see it, it's in your own mind. So it says in paragraph 2, in section 7, chapter 13, paragraph 2, it says, both are not true, yet either one will seem as real to you as the amount to which you hold it dear. And yet their power, the power of the two worlds, the world of love and the world of fear, is not the same, because their real attraction to you is unequal. What does that mean? You know that one of those appeal to you more than the other does. For some people, anger, guilt, and grievances and blame, that attraction to them is more of an attraction than love and peace and joy. Their real attraction to you is unequal. What does that mean? Well, it means that the truth is you really want love. The truth is you really want God. You really want unity. You really want peace. You really want miracles. That's what you really want. So the appeal of each one of them is not the same. It's not the same. So take a breath right now. So what did the first two paragraphs say to us? Because we're going to hear the message, right? Well, the first thing that we were told was what? That there's another world that you and I don't see. And that other world is not the world we're looking at. I really want you to hear that, mighty companion. The real world is not like this. The real world is not like what we see in the world of separation and fear. And then the Course in Miracles was very specific about it. The Course in Miracles says that in the real world, there are no buildings, there are no streets, there are no people walking alone, there are no stores where people buy an endless list of things that they really don't want or need. In the real world, there is no artificial light. In the real world, there is no night and day. In the real world, no one loses. And in the real world, love shines forever. So the Course in Miracles is letting you know, letting you know straight up that this material world is not the real world. So then what else did it tell us in the second paragraph? It told us that how do you see the real world? In the very next paragraph, it told us how you do it. How do you see the real world? Well, it says, well, if you want to see the real world, then you must be willing to see something other than the world that you're looking at. You have to be willing to deny the world of separation and fear, because you can't see both worlds. You can't see both worlds. And which world you see depends on what you cherish. If you cherish love and you really cherish love, then that's the world that you're going to see. But if you cherish anything other than love, then you see that world. So the sight of one world is possible because you're denying the other. And remember, the Course in Miracles is only talking about love and fear. The Course in Miracles is only talking about love or fear. Don't make it complicated, my brother and sister. Don't make it complicated. Stop making this complicated. It's only talking about love, or it's only talking about fear. That means it's only talking about innocence, or it's only talking about guilt. It's only talking about freedom, or it's only talking about limitation. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Kiss. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Kiss. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Kiss me. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Both of the worlds are not true. The world of fear and separation and the world of love and unity, both of them are not true. That means one of those is true. And you're going to see the world you hold dear. But the real world, the world of love, has more attraction to you than the world of pain. And that's good news. So remember, what are we studying this together for? We're studying this together so that we can, number one, we are joining in real time. So when we join in real time, like we're doing right now, and we communicate like we're doing right now, the Course in Miracles says that produces miracles. We are the mighty companions. We are a family. We come here and it's more than just, I'm checking out Earl's class. This is a joining of the family of God. We are the family of love. And we're willing to focus in on and cherish our connection and our oneness together. And that takes us to the real world. Yes, 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 yes. So let's go to paragraph 3, chapter 13, section 7, paragraph 3 in the text. And I feel like more music tonight. I'm being guided by Spirit to use more music. You do not really want the world you see, for it has disappointed you since time began. You do not really want the world of fear you see, because the world of fear has disappointed you since the beginning of time. The world of fear and separation has disappointed you since the beginning of time. What does that mean? What does that mean when the Course says you don't really want the world you see, for it has disappointed you since time began? The homes you built have never sheltered you. Ask those people who were in tornadoes. Ask the people who were in those fires on the West Coast if their home really sheltered them. The Course in Miracles is just straight up. It's saying the homes you built have never really sheltered you. The roads you made have led you nowhere. And no city that you built has withstood the crumbling assault of time. Nothing you made but has the mark of death upon it. This is some strong stuff that the Course is saying. The Course in Miracles is saying Don't hold the world of fear dear. Don't hold the world of separation dear. Stop cherishing the world of separation. It says it right here. Hold it not dear, for the world you made, the world of separation and fear, is old and tired and ready to return to dust, even as you made it. This aching world, this world of pain and suffering and aching, has not the power to touch the living world of love at all. So what did the Course just tell us? That there is a real world. There's a real world of love. There's a real world that this world doesn't have the power to touch at all. There's a real world. It seems like it's really trying to get us tonight to really get clear that the world of separation, the world that we're looking at, the physical material world, is not the real world. And then it's telling us that this aching world, this world of fear, it doesn't have the power, doesn't have the ability to touch the real world that God created with love at all. You could not give this aching world the power to touch the real world of love. And so although you turn in sadness, even though there's a part of you that turns in sadness away from this world, you cannot find in this world of fear. You cannot find in this world of pain and suffering. You cannot find in this world the road that leads away from this world into another world. If you think like the world thinks, if you believe like the world believes, then you're not going to find a way out of this world. If you believe what the world teaches, that we are separate, that you are a victim, that you are a body, that you are guilty, then you will not find the way to the real world if that's what you believe. That's what that paragraph said. So let's go back and review paragraph 3 one more time. So what was the first point that was made in paragraph 3? That you really don't want the world that causes you pain. That you don't really want a world that's disappointed you ever since you were born in one form or another. Then the Course in Miracles was straight up. What did it say? Well, it said, well, the homes that we build, they don't really shelter us. You're not really safe in your physical home. Your physical home doesn't really protect you. Then it says the roads that we have built, they just lead us more into the world, but they don't necessarily lead us into the truth. And that there is no city, you can look back through history and know that there have been many civilizations that are now gone, many cities that are now gone. Well, the Course says it, that there is no city that you built that could withstand the crumbling assault of time. I don't care what you built in the physical world, it will eventually be destroyed in the world of time. Then the Course in Miracles says something else. It's even more of a trip. That it says everything you make out of separation and fear, it has the mark of death on it because it's not going to last forever. But it doesn't matter. The good news is, no matter what we come up with, it doesn't have the power to touch the living world at all. You can give what you've made out of fear or separation the power to touch the real world of love. And even though we may sadly turn away from valuing the things of this world, we're not going to find in this world of separation and fear, we're not going to find a road that leads us to the real world. So, Phoenix called us the Vibe Tribe. Jana says, I'm more attracted to the real world than my illusions. I'm more attracted to love than fear. That's right. Renew says, disappointed. Diana says, don't hold the world of fear dear. Don't hold the world of fear dear. Barbara says, there is a real world. There is a real world. There is a real world. Alita says, time cannot touch the real world. Wakila says, there is a real world that fear can't touch. That's great freaking news. That's what I always feel. When I'm doing A Course in Miracles, it's like, let me hear what it's saying. Because what it's saying is so powerful. It's such a turn on. Who wants to sit around and everybody analyze The Course in Miracles and just give all their opinions about what they think it means and what it's saying? It's like, no. There's a message that we're being given. And we're supposed to come together and hear that message. because that message will inspire us. Nothing real can be threatened. Only love is real. That's great freaking news. Terry says, I want to keep learning how to find the real world. So do I, Terry. And with you, I'll be able to do it. With you. So let's go to the next paragraph, shall we? And I hope you're sharing this video on your timeline. Right next to the comments, it gives you the option of sharing the video. Mighty Companions, we need to gather in more Mighty Companions, and I need your help to do that. I need you to share these videos. I need you to be part of the healing of our perception of the world. I can't do this by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. I don't want just passive observers. I would like to have people who are joining with me and know that we need to move to the real world, that we are here to bring love and truth into this world. We're not here to analyze. We're here to serve. We're here to be conduits for light and conduits for love, because you're totally in denial if you don't think that the world that we're looking at needs to have more love, the content of love come into it, because the world we cherish, that's going to be the world we see. And since I cherish love, that's why I do this, because I cherish the truth and cherish love. So I know if I become a means for it to come into my perception and into this reality, then I know that that's how we get to the real world. So let's hear the other news that the Course in Miracles is giving us. That's right, Denise. Be with me. That's right. It says, yet the real world has the power. So what is the power that the real world has? It says, the real world has the power to touch you even here. The real world has the power to touch you even here. So how do you get the real world of love to touch you even here? Because you love it. When you truly love something, it will touch you. What's rooted in love will touch you. The real world has the power to touch you even here. Why? Because you love it. Because you love it. And what you call with love will come to you. What you call with love will come to you. What you call with love will come to you. What I call with love will come to me. So why is it that what you call with love will come to you? Why is it that what you call with love will come to you? Love always answers. If it's love, it always answers. Why is it that love, real love, will always answer? It says love always answers, being unable to deny a call for help. When a loving person, when you reach out to a truly loving person cannot ignore your call for help. A truly loving person cannot ignore a call for help. A really loving person cannot fail to hear the cries of pain that rise from it, from every part of this strange world you made but do not want. It says, love always answers. Being unable to deny a call for help. Love always answers. Being unable to deny a call for help, or not to hear the cries of pain that rise to love from every part of this strange world you made but don't want. What did the Course in Miracles call this? It says, this is a strange world you made but don't want. This is a strange world. The Course in Miracles says what? This is a strange world. This is a strange world you made but do not want. So what do we need to do to give the world of fear and anxiety and pain away? What do we need to do? What do you need to do to give this world of pain and fear away? See how the Course in Miracles is constantly giving us answers. It says, all that you need to give this world away in glad exchange for what you did not make, the world of love, is a willingness to learn the world you made is false. Listen to what the Course in Miracles says. So how do you let go of the world of pain or fear? How do you let it go? It tells you right here. It says, have a willingness to learn. What do you have to do? Have a willingness to learn. If you want to let go of the world of fear and pain and anger and anxiety and death and lack and sickness and attack, it says, all you have to do is to have a willingness. A willingness to what? A willingness to learn. A willingness to learn what? A willingness to learn that the world of fear you made is false. So what do you have to do if you want to let go of the world of fear and exchange it for the world of joy and happiness? You must have a willingness to learn the one you made is false. So, mighty companion, do you have a willingness to learn? Do you have a willingness to learn? Do you have a willingness to learn that the world of fear that you made is false? Are you willing to learn that the one you made is false? Say yes. Yes. If you are, shoot out some heart emojis. If you're willing to learn that the world of fear is false, if you're willing to learn that the world of separation is false, shoot out some heart emojis right now. All right, I see you. You're cooking. You're cooking. Now, I'm going to jam through that paragraph right there. It's got some good stuff in it. So I'm going to jam on it just for a minute. Yet the real world has the power to touch you even here because you love it, because you love it, because you love it. And what you call with love will come to you. I say, what you call with love will come to you. Say it to yourself. What I call to love, what I call with love will come to me. Say it. What I call with love will come to me. What you call with love will come to you. Love always answers. Love always answers. Love always answers. Being unable to deny or call for help, love always answers. Unable to deny or call for help, or not to hear the cries of pain that rise to it from every part of this strange world, this strange world, this strange world you do, this strange world you made but do not want. So what do? All that you need to give this world away in glad exchange for what you did not make is what? I have a willingness to learn that the one I made is false. Do you have a willingness to learn that the world you made is false? Do you have a willingness to learn that the world you made is false? Do you have a willingness to learn that the world you made is false? I am willing to learn that the world I made is false. I am willing to learn that the fear is false. I am willing to learn that the fear is false. I am willing to learn that the fear is false. Are you willing to learn that the one you made is false? Let's look at paragraph 5, chapter 13, section 7, paragraph 5 in the Course in Miracles text. This next paragraph is incredible. So let's listen. Listen. You have been wrong about the world. You have been wrong about the world because you have misjudged yourself. You have misjudged yourself. From what? From such a twisted reference point of misjudging yourself. What could you see? All seeing starts with the perceiver. All seeing starts with the perceiver, you. The perceiver who judges what is true and what is false. I say the perceiver, that's you. You're the one who judges what is true and what is false for you. And what you judge false, you do not see. And what he judges false, he doesn't see. What does that mean? What you say is not real, false, is something that you don't see. So if you judge love as false, then you don't see love. If you judge God as false, then you don't see God. If you judge trust as false, you don't see it. Whatever you judge as false, that's what you do not see. You who would judge reality cannot see reality. If you're going to judge reality, then you won't see reality. For whenever judgment enters, reality has slipped away. Whenever you start judging, the love slips away. The out of sight, the out of mind is out of sight. If it's not in your mind, it's not in your sight. If it's not in your mind, it's not in your sight. What does that mean? If I don't think it, I'm not going to see it. If I don't think it, I'm not going to see it. If I don't think truth, I'm not going to see truth. If I don't think love, I'm not going to see love. If I don't think innocence, I'm not going to see innocence. If I don't think joy, I'm not going to see joy. The out of mind is out of sight. The out of mind is out of sight. If I don't believe it, I will not see it. If you don't believe it, you will not see it. If it's out of your mind, then it's out of your sight. Do you see what I'm saying? If it's out of your mind, then it's out of your sight. Because what is denied is there. The love can be right in your life, but if you deny love, if you deny the truth, it is not recognized. It says it right here in paragraph 5. Check it out. It says, the out of mind is out of sight. Because what is denied is there, but is not recognized. Christ, your real loving self, the Christ, it's here. Your real loving self, your Christ self, your divine self, it's here. It's here. Your real self, your Christ self is still here, although you don't know your Christ self, your love self. Your love self, your Christ self, his being does not depend on your recognition. The existence of your Christ self, the existence of your true self, the existence of your real self does not depend on whether you recognize it or not. That chair in your living room is still going to be in your living room, whether you recognize the chair in your living room or not. Does that mean the chair isn't in your living room? So just because you don't recognize your truly divine, loving Christ self, that doesn't mean it's not there. Just because you don't recognize something, just because you don't believe something, doesn't mean that it's not there. So the Course in Miracles says, Christ is there, your one self, your real self is there, although you know him not, although you know your loving self not. It says his being does not depend upon your recognition. The being of Christ, the being of love that you are, does not depend upon your recognition. Your real self, the Christ in you, lives within you in the quiet present. So your real self, your loving self, is within you right now. So what is your real loving self waiting for? What is your true divine self waiting for? It says it's waiting for you to leave what behind? Your loving self is waiting for you to leave the past behind. Your loving self is waiting for you to leave the past behind. Do you know it's time for you to leave your old learning behind? It's time for you to leave your old learning based on separation and fear. It's time for you to leave your old past learning behind. And what's going to happen when you leave the past behind? Well, you're going to enter into the world that your loving self holds out to you. There's a world that's waiting for you, a world that your real self, your Christ self, is holding out to you. Listen to this with your heart and not with your head. The Course in Miracles is much more powerful if you listen to it with your heart, not your analytical mind. It's so funny to me when I see so many truth students think that they're going to analyze love. They're gonna figure God out. They're gonna figure the unknown out. Or when I see truth students who just only talk love. They're just so good at talking love. It's all in the head, just talking intellectually, but they're not letting the love come through. So I want to invite you, mighty companion, to listen to what I'm saying from A Course in Miracles. And I want you to listen to me with your heart. So I'm going to say this one more time. The Christ in you, your loving self, your true self is right here. It's right here, but you just don't know it. It being in the existence of your true self, your beautiful self, its existence doesn't depend on your recognition. But your real self, your loving self, your Christ self lives inside of you. And it lives inside of you in the quiet present, and it's waiting for you. And what is your real self waiting for you to do? Your real self is waiting for you to leave the past behind. It's waiting for you to enter into the world that your real self, that your loving self holds out to you in love. Barbara says, I'm entering the real world. Wakila says, adios, past. Phoenix says, our true self is not tangible. My true self is the Christ self. That's right. And Shahira is just greeting her mighty companions. Diana says, feeling love. That's right, Diana. Feeling love. Feeling it with your heart. Heart, mind, congruency in the truth. Carla says, I have been holding onto my past due to fear of not having an identity. Another comment is, Christ's self is waiting for me to leave the past behind, No one in this distracted world, in paragraph 6, it says, no one in this distracted world has seen some glimpses of the other world about them. So even in this world, there have been times when you've seen glimpses of the love world. Even in the fear world, there's been times that you've seen glimpses of the love world. Yet while you lay value on your own world, while you lay value on the world of fear and separation, you're going to deny the vision of the other world. You're going to maintain that you love something that you really don't love. That's what it says in paragraph 6. Maintaining that he loves what he loves not, and following not the road that love points out. If you deny love, then you're going to try to love what love doesn't love. And love doesn't love separation, fear, guilt, and anger. So if you're into separation, guilt, fear, and anger, you're following the road that fear points out, but you're not following the road that love points out. So what is a characteristic of love's leadership? It says, well, love leads so gladly. Love leads gladly. When you're being led by love, it makes you glad. And as you follow love, you will rejoice that you found love's company. That's how you can tell when you are following love, because you'll be so friggin' glad. And you're going to learn of love. You're going to learn of love, the joyful journey home. And that's what we're doing, aren't we? Aren't we learning right now the joyful journey home? That means we're learning of love because we're learning of the joyful journey home. Do you see how beautiful it is when you let yourself actually just hear what the Course in Miracles is saying? That's why I see myself as a messenger. I want people to hear what this incredible material is saying, instead of just sitting around analyzing it. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this beautiful? It's telling us that love will lead us gladly. And as we follow love, you're going to rejoice that you found love's company and learned of love, the joyful journey home. Then the Course in Miracles says, you wait but for yourself. You're waiting for yourself because you are the love self. To give this sad world over, and exchange your errors for the peace of God is but your will. What does that mean? It means that what you really want to do, What your real self really wants to do is to give this world, this sad world of fear, over. And you want to exchange your mistakes for the peace of love. I want to exchange. I want to exchange my errors for the peace of God. I want to exchange my errors for the peace of God. Will you exchange your errors for the peace of God? Will you exchange your errors for the peace of God? Will you exchange your errors for the peace of God? Will you exchange your errors for the peace of love? Will you exchange your errors for the peace of God? And Christ will always offer you the will of God. Love will always offer you the will of God. Christ will always offer you the will of God. Your real self will always offer you the peace of God. In recognition that you share the will of God with Christ, Christ will always offer you the will of God. Your loving self will always offer you the will of God. Your loving self will always offer you the will of God. In recognition that you share the will of God with your loving self, your Christ self, will always offer you the will of God. Like you said, down a great exchange rate. What is the will of God? What is the will of God for you? What is the will of God for you? The will of God for you, the Course in Miracles says God's will for you is perfect happiness. God's will for you is perfect happiness. God's will for you is perfect happiness. Love's will for you is perfect happiness. That's God's will for you. Paragraph 7 says, it is God's will that nothing touch you except himself, and nothing else comes close to you. So what is God's will? That nothing touch you but love, and that nothing else comes close to you but love. It's right there. It is God's will that nothing touch his son except himself, and nothing else comes nigh to his son. So the next sentence says in paragraph 7, chapter 13, section 7, paragraph 7, in the text of the Course in Miracles says, you are as safe from pain as God himself, who watches over you in everything. So God watches over you in everything. Love watches over you in everything. Do you see the beauty of letting yourself just hear the Course, whether you believe it or not? Then he says, the world about you will shine with love. The world about him shines with love. So the world about you is going to shine with love. The world around you is going to shine with love, because God placed you in God, where pain is not. So love places you in love, where pain isn't. So love is where pain is not. God is where pain is not. So there is no such thing as being in pain and being in love. There is no pain in love. There is no pain in love. Listen to me. There is no pain in love. And the Course says, the world about you will shine with love, because God placed you in himself where pain is not. And love surrounds you without end or flaw. Disturbance of your peace can never be. In perfect sanity, you look on love, for love is all around you and within you. You must deny the world of pain the instant you perceive the arms of love around you. When you feel love around you, then you're going to choose not to know pain. When you're in love, you choose not to know the world of pain. And when you perceive the arms of love around you, it says, and from this point of safety, what point of safety? The point of safety is you seeing the arms of love around you. The point of safety is you denying the world of pain. The point of safety is you being in perfect sanity, looking on love and seeing love all around you and in you. The point of safety is when your disturbance, when disturbance of your peace can never be. The point of safety is when the world around you shines with love because God placed you within God where pain isn't. And so love surrounds you without end and flaw. We are... All right, try to strangle me, ego, but you won't do it. The world around you, in the real world, the world around you is going to shine with love. God is going to watch over you in everything. God will place you within itself where pain isn't. Love will be surrounding you without end or flaw. In the real world, there will be no disturbance of your peace ever. In the real world, in perfect sanity, you look on love, for it's all around you and within you. In the real world, you deny the world of pain the instant you see the arms of love around you. And from this point of safety, he says, you look quietly around you and recognize that the world is one with you. That is what the real world is like. That is where we're headed. Now, don't forget, I go as far as I can in the section because I'm trusting that you'll finish the rest of the section on your own. I'm going to do a quick review of what I've covered with you so far. And I want to tell you that I appreciate so much your supporting my teaching ministry. Thank you for your financial expressions of appreciation for what I'm doing. And if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation because you really value me and this truth and what comes through me as a full-time teacher, I really, really appreciate it. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy.com. I truly appreciate those of you who see value in what I do and realize I'm a full-time teacher and you want to support me in my teaching ministry and being led to do that from God within you. Thank you for showing your love for me in a way that actually helps me out in a practical way to keep what I'm doing going. It's one thing to talk love and appreciation. It's another thing to do something to really show it at a level that's helpful to another brother or sister. So thank you. earlpurdy.com. I'm available for one-on-one personal sessions called Clarity Sessions. I've been doing them for over 30 years. Go to my website. It explains my Clarity Sessions in detail. Clarity Sessions. Get rid of whatever you think. I can help you get past whatever it is you know you're ready to let go of so you can experience the joy and love and miracles that the Course in Miracles talks about. On Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, I do Facebook Live from the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. And you can watch it whether you're a Facebook member or not. 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time every Sunday in front of a live audience and on Facebook Live. On Tuesday nights, I teach out of some material called The Way of Mastery, which is awesome. Another powerful truth teaching. 7 p.m. Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. And then on Thursdays, I look so forward to meeting with my mighty companions on Thursday because we call it hardcore because we are not the analytical core students. We're the ones who want to hear what Master Teacher is telling us. We want to hear what Jesus is telling us, the Jesus of the Course in Miracles, because it's a true, powerful message of love. What we heard tonight was so beautiful and so practical. It brings tears to my eyes. And when we hear this from our heart and not just from our head, we join at a level that saves us thousands and thousands of years of spiritual lessons and thousands of incarnations. So let's do a quick review of what we've heard so far. Well, the first thing that we were told in this section called the Attainment of the Real World. First of all, we were told what? The real world isn't like the world where there's a government shutdown and people are upset with each other and polarized and separate like we're seeing right now in our country. In the real world, there are no streets where people walk as separate bodies. There are no stores that we're buying stuff that we really don't need anyway, and it's not lit with artificial light. And the real world is just shining with love, and it shines with love forever. Now, you've got to be willing to deny the world of fear that you're looking at according to the Course, because you can't see both worlds. And each world depends on what you cherish. So we're being told that the sight of the loving world will be seen because you're willing to deny the fear. It's saying that you're going to see the world that you hold dear. And I hate to break it to you, but the world that you're living in is the world that you value. But the power of the real world of love is much more powerful than the world of fear and separation. Then we were told in paragraph 3 that the truth is you really don't want the world you're looking at. We really don't want this world of separation and fear because it's constantly disappointed us since the beginning of time. The Course in Miracles is being straight up. It's saying, look here, let me tell you, you all know the homes that you made will never really shelter you. You know the roads of the world don't lead anywhere. You know that everything here ends eventually. So don't hold it dear. It's old, it's tired, it's ready to return to the dust even as you made it. Then the Course in Miracles says, but guess what? This world of fear doesn't have the power to touch the world of love. That we can't even give this world the power to touch the world that God created. And so even though we might turn in sadness away from this old world, we're not going to find in the world of the ego, we're not going to find a road that leads away from the world of the ego into another world from within the ego. But the real world of love, it has the power to touch us even here because we love the real world. And then, do you know that whatever you call with love is going to come to you because love always answers, because love is unable to deny a call for help, that love will always hear the cries of pain. So what do you need to do? It says, well, all you need to do to give the world of fear away, all you need to do to give the world of lack away is be willing to what? Be willing to learn that the world of the ego is not real. Be willing to learn that the false world of fear is not real. That's all we have to do. Just go, you know what? I've decided the direction that I want to go in. I want to go in the direction of love. I want to go in the direction of God. I want to go in the direction of peace. I'm willing to learn that the world of the ego is false. And the Course says, you've been wrong about things because you've misjudged yourself. You've seen yourself as other than divine and love. And that's a twisted reference point. All seeing starts with the perceiver. So you're the one that judges what is true for you, and you're the one that judges what is false for you. And if you see love as false, then you won't see it. If you see fear as false, you will not see it. And if you judge reality, if you judge love, you can't see it. Because whenever judgment enters, reality slips away. Whenever judgment enters, love slips away. The out of sight is out of mind. What's not in your mind will not be in your sight. So if you want to see something, it's got to be in your mind. So you have to start putting truth in your mind if you want to see truth in your world. You have to be thinking love if you want to see love. You have to think God if you want to see God. You have to think freedom if you want to see freedom. Now, if you deny that love is in your life, then you won't recognize it even if it's there. Christ, the true self, your loving self, is still here even though you may not see your Christ self. But the existence of your Christ self, the existence of your loving self doesn't depend on your recognition. There's a loving self in you that exists whether you believe it or not. The Christ in you, the truth in you, the love in you, your real self is living within you right now in this quiet presence. So what is your Christ self waiting for? Your Christ self is waiting for you to leave your past behind. Leave your past behind so that you can enter into the world that Christ holds out to you with love. That's a fact. So remember that the love in you is always offering you love, and that love leads you gladly. And when you follow love, you'll be glad you're following love. And love is going to give you a joyful journey home. You're just waiting for yourself. Do you know what God's will is? We were told what God's will is. Here we go. This is what God's will is. This is what your Creator's will is. Your Creator's will is that nothing touch you but your Creator. And that nothing comes close to you but your Creator, which is love. And your Creator wills that you be as safe from pain as your Creator is. Your Creator watches over you in everything and everything. Your Creator, love, watches over you in everything. So what else happens in the real world? The world around you shines with love because God is going to place you in God where pain is not. And then love will surround you without end or flaw. So when you're in the real world, disturbance of your peace can never be. Disturbance of your peace can never be. When you're in the real world, the love of God. In perfect sanity, what happens? When a person is in perfect sanity, they look on love. For love is all around you when you're in perfect sanity. Love is all around you and inside of you in perfect sanity. You must deny the world of pain. You must choose not to know the world of pain. And you will deny the world of pain the instant you feel the arms of love around you. 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 And that's the point of safety. When you feel the arms of love around you, that's the point of safety. And then you look quietly around yourself. And you recognize the world is one with you. Say that to yourself. The world is one with me. The world is one with me. The world is one with me. Say it. The world is one with me. The world is one with me. The world is one with me. Love always answers. Love always answers. Love always answers. Let's chant this. Let's end this on a powerful chant. Wherever you are, say it. Love always answers. Love always answers me. 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 Mighty companion, you are a blessing as usual. You take me to the real world. I'm so glad, mighty companion, that we have each other. I love you. Until next time, remember, may the course be with you. May the course be with you. Let the course be with you. Love always answers. 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 Rhonda, I appreciate you, all of you. Love you. See you next time. Mwah.